So I couldn't sleep last night. I actually slept earlier, I think at like 5, 6, and I woke up at like 8 and I couldn't sleep. And obviously, I ended up being on social media. And one of the stories I saw, Musa Kaula, the Pope of pop culture, Gossip Queen, Gossip Girl on Twitter, posted screenshots of WhatsApp messages from an Instagram page of Mandy, Malebo. Um, Apparently, there was an Instagram story, Instagram live story as well by Mandy Malebo. Mandy Malebo has got a child with the singer Mondli Ngcobo. Mondli Ngcobo is a guy that sings the song I think it was one of the songs that was the biggest song of the year a couple of years ago. It's actually a song by DJ Merlin featuring Mondli Ngcobo. Mondli is an amazing singer. He's got another song called Inkanyezi, which is one of the songs that inspired me to name my second daughter Unkanyezi. Beautiful, very beautiful song. So what's happening is apparently Umondli has not been seeing his child because in the WhatsApp messages, Mandy was complaining about this guy supporting his child and also not seeing his child. And she was saying, your child really, really wants to see you, which was one of the things that triggered a lot of people when they commented under Musa's tweet. Secondly was this thing of money. And the guy said, 1,500 Rand is all I have. And again, a lot of the comments now went at that. Females in particular saying 1,500 is too little. And then a lot of the men saying, but why do you say it's too little? 1.5 is a good amount on its own. Secondly, if I'm sending 1.5 as the father, you as the mom are also supposed to bring 1.5. That's 3,000 Rand for a child. How much more does a child need? And it made me think that, as soon as I wake up, I'm going to have to make a video about maintenance. Maintenance being a very, very big one. The one of having present fathers, I think, is very straightforward. More and more of us men need to step up and do the right thing and be present in our children's lives. And then for women, there's nothing cute about being a single mother. Please make sure that the father of your child has decent access and visitation with your child. Not only for the father's sake, but also his parents, his siblings, his cousins, his friends, all the stakeholders in his life, so that your child can get the father's love, the father's knowledge and wisdom, the father's resources, and the father's networks and opportunities. Very, very important. The maintenance one is a bit more sensitive because people don't seem to have a guideline on what good maintenance is. What's a good amount? And obviously, as some of you have seen on social media, once you put an amount, people lose their minds. We've had Dumantando back in the day who were saying they need 20,000 Rand maintenance for their daughters. And people lost their marbles. I've had stories of women taking fathers to court for 5,000, 10,000 Rand maintenance a month. So people don't really know how much maintenance needs to be paid. I need to start here. Number one, we live in a country where people don't have as much money as you think they have on social media. Number two, people are swimming in debt. Over 75% of working South Africans are in debt, swimming in debt, and the bulk of their income goes to just servicing debt, which means people are living beyond their means. Importantly, the average worker in this country, of which we have between 5 and 10 million people who work, who have jobs in this country, the average worker in this country only earns 3,600 Rand per month. To be in the top 10% of earners in this country, you need to be earning 7,300 Rand per month. That's the top 10%. That's the elite. And then the 1%, the minority, the rich, basically, are taking home 48,000 Rand or more per month. It's not a lot of money, which means the bulk of people cannot really have a lot of money to be even thinking of maintaining kids with a lot of money. We've got 12 million children, I think it's 12 million children that currently earn a child grant of 480 Rand a month. And over 67% of our schools in this country are no-fee schools. So no one pays school fees to send their kids there. And only 10% of the population can afford or has medical aid. The overwhelming majority of our country basically doesn't have a lot of money. If I were to maybe give it in a figure, 90% of our country earns between or is living on 500 Rand to 3,000 Rand a month. Over 90% of our country. So when you have these expectations of maintenance, they are unrealistic. And we need to have a conversation about it. For me, I have written a book called Parenting with Penwell. You guys can buy the book from me either in PDF ebook format for 50 Rand, or you can buy a hard copy for 100 Rand, excluding postage, where I speak about various aspects about parenting, one of them being this concept of maintenance, very, very importantly. Penwellsbooks at gmail.com. Penwellsbooks at gmail.com is the email address that you can email if you're looking to buy that book. I suggest and I recommend that parents spend no more than 20% of their income on their children. Not more than 20% of their income on their children. What does that mean? It means the two of you combined should not be spending more than 20%, and then you on your own should not spend more than 20%. If, for example, you are earning 10,000 Rand per month, that means the maximum you can afford for your child is 2,000 Rand. That 2,000 Rand must pay for their schooling, for their healthcare, for their clothing, for their toiletries, for any takeaways and other entertainment. 2,000 Rand. What that also means is once you have two children, it doesn't go from 2,000 to 4,000. No, you need to take that 2,000 Rand you have and split it. So now you can only afford 1,000 Rand per child. If you feel when you're hearing this but that's too little, that means you are living beyond your means and you need to downgrade. So many of you, unfortunately, are struggling and drowning in debt because you are living beyond your means. You cannot afford that X Model C school. You cannot afford that private school for your child. You cannot afford medical aid. What that means is you must join 90% of the country and go and look for a no-fee school. Join 90% of the country and go queue at public clinics and public hospitals. That is what you can afford. Once you do that, you take a huge chunk of the cost away because largely children's costs are schooling and medical aid. When it comes to food, kids eat what we eat. When it comes to clothing, kids wear what you wear. You don't have to open a clothing account. You can go to Pep, you can go to Jet, you can go to Ackermans if you want brand new clothing. Or you can buy good quality second-hand clothing for your children. There is no need to be living above your means. Make sure that even the neighborhood you live in is in line with your earnings. So I wanted to highlight that look at 20%. Obviously, if you're working alone, if you're providing alone, that's it. If you're working with the mother, it is up to you guys to combine your incomes and say, look, together we earn 30,000. So 20% of that is 6,000 Rand. If we have 3 children, that's 2,000 Rand per child. And you must not go beyond that. That is all you can afford. And you must keep it to that as well. I think it's a very important conversation we need to have. People are saying, I need to be comfortable first, earn a lot of money first before I have kids. But the reality is that a lot of you will never get there. But the bulk of the population doesn't have money. And it's important that we begin having these conversations around money. Just in closing, Mondli, that goes in Kanyezi is, I think it was inspired by Brian McKnight's song. When the eagles forget how to fly, and it's 20 below in July, and when violets turn red, when roses turn blue, I'll be still in love with you. Because this song goes, Inkanyezi isomile emkhathini, nelanga lisaphume mpumalanga, nezingane zilala zidlile, kusho ukuthi ubaba usasibekile. Penwell the Black Pen, happy Saturday, man. Cheers.